have many, many, many years of experience doing it. The weapons we use are real weapons. The fighting is not choreographed. The weapons are dull. We do have a little common sense, not much. Tad.
We do get hurt doing this.
Yes, please do not try this at home. You will end up in the hospital.
Believe me, we know.
Yes. And your parents will be very upset with you. Or even, if you're adults, just point and laugh at that point. What are you guys going to start with today? Dagger? There were many different styles of fighting, tournament and field. One was fighting just with daggers. It does seem kind of silly to have two guys in full armor battling out with daggers, but if you knew what you were doing, a dagger could be a very, very effective weapon. There are spots in the armor that don't have armor. Like you pointed out, the eye slit, underneath, armpits, groin, everybody go, And if you could get into these spots, well, you win.
So, who's excited?
Huzzah!
Not enough. Who's excited?
Huzzah!
That's what we're talking about. After the fight, we as a reenactment group, we're a very charitable bunch. And what we're doing is, we're doing collections at the end of the fight for different charities. This one is for the DEW Animal Kingdom in Central Maine. They're a wild animal sanctuary that deals a lot with large cats, primates, hoofed animals. They do a wonderful job. They just always need help supporting what they do. So, Mary here will be passing around one of our helmets. If you'd like to donate to help some cute little animals, feel free. Thank you.
Now, just so you folks know, the way they would have fought back then, during regular wars, the knights would always try to capture the men-at-arms or the knights from the other side. Basically because what you could do is you could ransom them off. Or like Marcus was saying, if you could kill them and take their armor and sell that for money. During the War of the Roses, though, it was a very brutal and bloody period. You basically just wanted to remove your opponent from the battlefield in the goriest way possible, because it was a blood feud.
And you can use awesome weapons like this to remove your opponent from the battlefield. You gotta... I'll work with him. You got here Warhammer. You can see it's got a lovely selection of implements on the top. You have the pointy bit, which is good for that. Somebody's coming at you and they have a suit of armor. This will go through it. Great. If you're feeling a little generous and you just want to clonk them on the head, this will crush armor.
There is an actual story of a man in tournament who didn't get to collect his prize because he had to go to the blacksmith and have the helmet hammered back off his head on the anvil. He couldn't remove it because it had been crushed onto his head.
The nice thing with this too is you got a lot of range. So, Mr. Knight, and knights as a rule were mounted. That's the first rush. They would come in on their horses. This is a great way to hook Mr. Knight, drag him down off his horse, and then proceed the beating. You have another spike on the end, which can be used as a spear or jam it into someone's foot. Because if you basically go through someone's foot, they're not going to be fighting very well for the rest of the day.
Or ever.
They'll probably die from infection. So.
The other weapon that doesn't get its due when you think about knights
Is he afraid on this one?
is the big stick. What do we call this?
Quarterstaff.
Big stick. How about a quarterstaff? Right? Now, this was a $1.25 quarterstaff, but I didn't tell him that. Anyway, a quarterstaff is not one of these smaller staffs that you see. Reach as high as you can, add a foot, and that's about the length of your staff. And what you see in the movies today with Robin Hood, right, where they pull the staff in the middle, is actually generated in the Victorian era from stage combat. Because the stages are too small to hold the staff properly. Okay, the staff should be held from way back here. So even if he has his longer weapon with the pointy bit, I've got the advantage. So what we're going to do, I'm going to need a dummy to work with me for a minute. Alright, here's our dummy. So you're going to be striking at me with that. Now, if he strikes high, all I have to do is pull my hand in to my hip, bring this across, bang, clunk him on the head, or drive it down and whack him in the side of the head. There's just two things that I need to do. If he strikes low for my leg that I'm exposing, I'm going to spin that around and pop him on the head and bring that around or jam him in the teeth.
Not having a very good day. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got the reach. The other thing that we do, when you thrust with something like this, you don't do this. Just don't move and I won't hit you. You do this. So when I slide it really hard, I would be wearing a gauntlet or a glove. Imagine how much force it takes to put it, what's that, a foot behind his skull? Of course, I'm going to hit him in the nose. So I'm going to put his nose a foot behind his skull. Right? This is one of the best weapons on the field. And you see in the movies where the sword cuts right through it, that's complete bump. He could chop at this 10, 12 times with the sharp sword and not make it through an ash pole. So I'm going to block his strike. Now this is something he might do. He's going to hook it and pull hard, and I'm going to let go, grab it, and jam him in the face. Swing it around to the other side, and if he's still standing, I'm going to finish him off. Anybody can cut one of these in the woods. So this is one of the great peasant weapons on the battlefield. With a little bit of training, it's devastating.
Bless you, bless you.
You ready, Anthony?
Are you guys ready?
Huzzah!
Are you sure?
I can't hear that.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
Just do that while they're hitting each other. It kind of cheers them on a little bit. Makes them fight
We
harder.
can't hear you very well in these helmets, so you have to scream very loud, okay? Now, what we need you to scream, the both of us, so we can hear you, okay? Is go Sir Brian. Can you do that? Let me
No.
Or better yet,
Anthony!
Anthony!
Brian rolls off the tongue better, I believe.
Anyway. Good. Good. Remember, keep it clean. Well, yeah, whatever. Lay on.
I don't dare scream.